Good morning, everybody. How are we doing? Welcome to the week 7 class of our session. And today we shall be talking about project management, KPIs, EVM, and scope control. Now, I started by saying project management is the art and science, what I've been saying since week 1, of leading a project from initiation to closure within the constraint of time, cost, and scope. Now, to ensure successful project executions, managers must monitor performance, evaluate progress, manage change effectively, and control outcomes. Now, 3 essential tools in achieving these objectives are: 1, the key performance indicator, the KPI, the end value management, that's the EVM, and the scope management technique. Now, this document dives into the following area: 1, the key performance indicator and progress tracking; 2, introduction to end value management, EVM; 3, handling scope changes and controlling project progress. Now, what is KPI? Now, key performance indicators are just measurable values that demonstrate how effectively a project is achieving its objective. Now, KPI serves as benchmark to success, progress, and performance throughout the project lifecycle. They help project managers track success, identify issues early, and make informed decisions. Now, effective KPIs are SMART. They are specific. SMART is an acronym. What's that word? It's a short form for 1, specific, clearly defined and focused; 2, measurable, which is the quantifiable with objective criteria; the A is achievable, they are realistic and attainable; then R is relevant, aligned with project goals; and T stands for time bound, linked to a deadline. So we the KPIs are things that are tied down. They must be specific. Your KPI must be, okay, what do I want to achieve? What your achievement, your goals is clearly defined. They are measurable, not just to say, okay, I want to achieve this, and you cannot track what you plan to achieve. They're achievable, yes. They are realistic. You cannot just set a goal because it's settable. You cannot set an unrealistic goal. They must be relevant. You must set a goal that aligns with the current project you are running. You cannot set a goal that does not even involve the project you are working on. Then they might be time bound. Yes, they must be time bound, linked to a deadline to track progress. Now, types of project management KPIs. Now, they say the KPIs vary based on the project nature, but common categories include: number 1, the time-based KPI, yes, which is very common. This schedule variance, SV, it measures whether a project is ahead or behind of schedule, yes. So you use this to know, after you can check from your project charter, your Gantt charts, or your network diagram, okay, is my project ahead? Are we behind? Are we on track? Then it checks the milestone achievement rate. It tracks how many planned milestones from probably your Gantt chart and your network diagram you've been able to complete on this time. Number 3, we have the on-time task completion rate. That's the percentage of tasks completed by their due date. Now, we have the cost-based KPI. This is budget variance, BV. It's difference between budgeted and actual expenditure. The cost performance index, that one evaluates the cost efficiency. It is explained in the EVM section, yes. Then the end value, EV, that's the value of work completed. Then we still have the quality KPI. Now it detects densities, defect densities. That's the number of defects per unit of deliverables. We have the customer satisfaction index. This one deals with the feedback score from clients or end users. We have the rework time percentage. This one deals on the time spent on rework as a total project time as a proportion of total project. So work that should have been done, that were not initially done according to how they should be done. So the time spent on this is what we call the work time percentage. Now moving forward, we have the resource KPI. These are just types of project management KPIs. We have the resource KPI. That's the resource utilization rate, one. That's the percentage of time resources are effectively engaged. We have the team satisfaction score. It measures morale and engagement. Then we have the risk KPI. That's the number of risks identified and resolved. It tracks effectiveness of risk management. Then the impact severity index, which weighted score of risks based on severity and profitability and probability. Sorry. Now, what are the best practices for KPI tracking? Number one, you define your KPIs early. That's you establish your KPI during the planning phase. So your key performance index should be established during your planning phase. Number two, you use project management tools, software like MS Project. I've been saying this from the beginning. Jira, Trello, or Monday.com enables real-time tracking. Number four, you set baseline. You establish time, cost, quality baseline, and quality baseline for comparison. Number four, and very importantly, you review regularly. So you do weekly or bi-weekly, or even daily review as the case may be, to help you maintain control of your projects. And number five, you visualize data. So dashboard and chart enhance understanding and transparency, which goes back to our Gantt chart and network diagram. Yes. Now, what are the benefits of KPI tracking? You have one, early issue detection. Yes, when you are tracking and observing weekly, you can easily tell from the onset when a problem or when things are not going as it should be. Number two, we have the improved stakeholders communication. We have the better resource allocation. We have the enhanced accountability. We have the greater likelihood of on-time and within budget delivery. Now we are moving forward to introduction to end value management, EVM. Now, are you serious? It's not skipped. Okay. Now, what are the key performance metrics in EVM? Sorry, there should be a note on EVM. Okay. There should be a note on EVM. Okay, I'll come back to that. So, what are the key performance metrics in EVM? Now, number one, we have the schedule variance, SV, which is equal to the EV minus the PV. I think I talked about all of them. Where the EV is the end value and the PV is the planned value. So your SV equals to that's your scheduled variance now. It's equals to your end value minus your planned value. Then we have positive schedule variance means ahead of schedule. Negative schedule variance indicates delay. Now we have the cost variance, CV, which is equal to your end value minus your actual cost. Then we'll come here, we'll say positive cost value means under budget, negative cost value shows overspending. Now the schedule performance index. Now the schedule performance index is determined using the end value all over the planned value. Now when your schedule performance index is greater than 1, that means project is ahead of schedule. And when your produced schedule performance index is less than 1, project is behind schedule. Now we also have your cost performance index, CPI, which is equal to your end value over the actual cost. So when your CPI is greater than 1, your project is cost efficient. And when it is less than 1, your project is cost inefficient. We have the estimate as completion, EAC, which is equals to the BAC all over the CPI. That's all over your cost performance index. Now that's the BAC stands for budget at completion, while the CPI equals to your cost performance index. So it predicts the final cost of the project at current performance. Now we have the variation of at completion, VAC, which is equal to your BAC. That's your budget at completion minus your estimate at completion. So it indicates expected budget surplus or deficit. Yes. I came down here to give an example. So let's say your budget at completion BAC is $100,000. Your PV plan value is 60,000. Your end value is 50. Actual cost is 55. Now we come here and see now your SV, that's your scheduled variance, is equals to your EV minus your PV. So your scheduled variance is equals to your end value minus your planned value, which is equals to 50,000 minus 60,000. So that you're having minus 10,000. That signifies that you are behind schedule. Now your CV, which is your cost variance, is equals to your end value minus your actual value. That's your 50,000 minus your 55, so which is minus 5,000, which means you've over budgeted. Then your SPI, that's your scheduled performance index, which is equals to your EV over your PV, which is, we have, what's your EV here? 50,000 over 60,000. So we're having 0.83, but I don't think this calculation is correct. A minute. Let me just 50,000 divided by 60,000. Oh wow, it's correct. So 0.83, yeah. So you remember when we said from our SPI, that's your scheduled performance index, if it is greater than 1, the project is ahead of schedule, and if it is less than 1, the project is behind schedule. So we're having 0.83, which is less than 1. So the project is behind schedule. Then moving forward, we have the CPI. The CPI, the cost performance index, which equals your estimated value divided by your actual value. So we do that and we have 0.91. So we still have here, if it is less than 1, the project is inefficient, sorry. So at this point it is less than 1, so which means your project is cost efficient, which means a lot of things is actually wrong with this your project. Now we'll move forward to your EAC, estimate at completion, sorry. That's your 100,000, your BAC, budget and completion, divide by your EAC, that's the one we just calculated, my estimate at completion. So we're going to have 100,000 divided by 0.91. So the final cost of the project, so it means that what you budgeted, 100,000, will not be the amount you will use. It's going to be 109,890,000. So you are short of 9,890,000. But how you calculate that is at your variance at compliance, yes, which have the budget at estimation minus the estimate at completion. So that's your BAC minus your EAC, which is 100,000 minus 109,000. So you still need $9,890 to complete your project. So I bracketed it here at project cost overrun. Now moving forward, what are the benefits of EVM? Yes, what is the benefit of using the EVM? Now, number one, it provides objective performance data. It enables early detection of problems, just like the KPI. It facilitates forecasting, yes. It integrates cost, scope, and schedule for total visibility. Supports proactive management and decision making. Now, I think the next subheading is handling scope changes and controlling project progress. Number one, how do we do that? We have change request initiation. Now, anyone can submit a change request, which should be documented with reason, impact, and urgency. Number two, we have the impact analysis. Now, the project manager and relevant team members analyze how the change affects time, cost, resource, and quality. Number three, we have the change control board. I think I will have to send this note too, because this slide does not seem complete. Number three, we have the change control board, the CCB review, a governance body often comprising the sponsor, project manager, stakeholders, evaluate the request based on its merits. Number four, we have the approval or rejection. Number five, we have the communication. And number six, we have the implementation and monitoring. Now we'll go forward. Tools for scope control and progress tracking. We have the WBS, the work breakdown structure, decomposes project deliverables into manageable components. One, the change log, it records all change requests, decision, and action taken. We have the project baseline, which is the original scope, line, and cost plan used for comparison. We have the project report, which helps track deviation from the plan. Yes, we have the Gantt chart and critical path method, which are visual tools to track progress and identify and schedule risk. Now, stakeholders engagement. We have numbers. What is this? Techniques for controlling project program. So this is scattered. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to end the slide. How do they end slide? Okay. Yes. This is what I'm to do. Okay. So I'm going to want to end this. Sorry. I'm going to go back. I'm going to go to the notes itself because I'm going to go back from EVM. Yeah. Done. No. Sorry, a minute. Okay, so I'm going to talk from here. Then I'll go back to the slides here. So I talked about so we are not here. Oh yeah, so this is where we are. Now, okay, so I did not talk about handling scope changes, yes. We are supposed to be in handling scope changes, yes. Now, what is scope change in project management? Now, project scope refers to all the work required to deliver a product, service, or result with specified features and function. Now, it includes project boundaries, deliverables, constraints, and assumptions. Now, scope is categorized as product scope, project scope. Now, what is product scope? I think we talked about this in week 1. It features the features and functions of the deliverables, while the project scope, the work needed to deliver the products. Now, scope creep is a major risk. It refers to the uncontrolled or unapproved changes in project scope, often leading to delay, budget overrun, or failure to meet objective. Now, causes can include 1, poorly defined scope, 2, weak change control process, 3, stakeholder demands, lack of documentation. Now, what are the scope change management process? We have 1, handling. Okay, yes, I've talked about this. Handling scope change management process. We have the handling scope change effectively. Involves a structured process. Number 1, change request initiation, impact analysis, change control board. We've talked about this. The approval or rejection, the communication, and the implementation and monitoring. Now, what tools are used for scope control and tools used for scope control and progress tracking? Yes, this was what I was talking about. We have the work breakdown structure, the change log, the project baseline, the performance reports, the Gantt chart and critical path method. Now, what are the techniques for controlling project progress? Now, before we do this, I want us to talk about this EVM because I know I did not fully talk about it. So scattered. Yes. Now, what is EVM? Now, end value management, EVM, is a project performance data to assess project health. Unlike traditional tracking, which may only look at budget or schedule, EVM offers a holistic view of performance and progress. It answers 3 questions. Number 1, where are we? Number 2, where are we going? And number 3, how far off are we from our plan? Now, what are the key components of EVM? To understand EVM, you must become familiar with its core variables. We have the planned value PV, also called budgeted cost of work schedule, BCWS. It is the authorized budget for the work scheduled to be completed by a certain date, yes. Now we have the EV, that's the end value, also called budgeted work cost of work performed, BCWP. It represents the value of actual work and completed up to a certain date. based on the planned budget. We have the actual cost AC, also known as the actual cost of work performed. It is the actual expenditures incurred for the completed work. Now we come to the key performance metrics, which we talked about. So if you can see here, they just stated, I think we talked about all this one. So what we did not really brush through was what is EVM, which I wanted us to just see. Then I think so far in these notes, yes, we've talked about this. Now we are moving forward to the last part of the notes, which says, in conclusion, monitoring. Okay, no, we are back to techniques for controlling project progress. Yes, sorry. Now we have the baseline management, which is establishing and maintaining scope, schedule, and costs. Baseline ensures deviation are clearly visible and actionable. We have the end value tracking. So as explained earlier, EVM provides real-time visibility into performance. We have the forecasting technique, which uses trend in SPI and CPI to predict future performance and take preventive actions. We have the agile approach. Now in agile projects, scope is flexible, but time and resource are fixed. So the progress is controlled via one, iteration/sprint, daily stand-up, sprint retrospective, and reviews. Now we have the project audit and reviews. Now this involves the regular audit by internal or external review, which provide objective assessment of project health. Sorry, I want to check something. Okay. Now then we have the stakeholders engagement. Now this means keeping stakeholders involved ensures expectations are managed and team is working on the right priorities. Now I would go back to this. Yes, back to this in conclusion. Now I'm back to this. Now I came here and wrote in conclusion, monitoring and controlling a project requires discipline, structured method, and consistent measurements. Now the key performance indicator helps team and stakeholders track performance and identify issues. Now the end valued management offers a comprehensive approach to measuring scope, time, and cost performance. Now enabling better focusing and decision making at the same time. No project is immune to change, especially in dynamic environments. Effective scope management is essential to avoid uncontrolled expansion, wasted resource, or project failure. Now, by implementing robust change control mechanism and leveraging project tracking tools, project managers can maintain control, ensure stakeholder satisfaction, and increase the chance of delivering projects on time, within budgets, and to expected quality. Mastering this concept is crucial for any project manager hoping to be consistent and repeatable success. Now, these are just basic things I think anybody in the corporate world can also tell you about. Anybody here who works corporately would know what the KPIs and EVM are. Now, like I said, every project management tools and everything we learn from project management are things which we can practically apply to our life and our day-to-day running and activities. So these are just basic things we need to know as project managers to make running a project as effective as it can be. So technically we've come to the end of today's class and we'll be stopping here for week 7. So see you all at week 8 and have a nice week. Thank you very much. Yeah.